All right, so I promised in the micro hood video that next would be coming the stove. Now we do have the gas range, as you can tell. So if you're looking for the electric cooktop, I cannot review that one right now. I can say though that we have owned it. When we owned the set in a previous house, when the Slate line very first came out, we had the glass top. I did like it as far as glass top stoves go. That said, nothing beats gas. I'm sorry if you disagree, but if you've never cooked with gas, you don't know what you're missing. Anyhow, so what we've got here, first of all, is just your basic control panel. Now I will say there was not really any size options for the stove, so thankfully it fit the space perfectly. Now we have, actually, I think the only version, the options were in the burners. So we've got the mega burner and then the others. And then what we have in the middle is the elongated griddle burner. And we got the stove with just the grate right here. You can get the option with the griddle pan. Sorry, I'm trying not to catch my reflection in the microwave. The flat griddle pan is one of the options. The price difference didn't make it worth it for us because we don't use that. We have a large countertop griddle that we use for cooking French toast and things like that, so it didn't make sense to pay extra for the stove that had that plate when we actually want this grate here anyhow. So, large knobs. My one complaint at this point would be the amount of time it takes when igniting for the flame to start. See? I am used to stoves that click once or twice and then start. So I don't know if this is because we have not been using this for quite a month and it's still too new, but I've never had this issue before, even with the new stove. Now it's not really an issue because it does start, it just takes longer. So going into the oven now, this is a pretty decent capacity. I can fit two 13x9 casserole dishes. I cannot fit two cookie sheets side by side. It is not quite wide enough for that. They overlap, so I have to do one top, one bottom. It's got that same enamel finish, but it cooks beautifully. I have not had any issues with things cooking unevenly or anything like that. Last but not least is the broiler, which as you can tell is sparkling because we don't use it. I'm gonna be honest here. I've never really known how to use a broiler. I remember as a child, my parents using it on occasion for steaks and things like that. When we had an electric stove, we used that drawer to store glass dishes in and things. No, you're not supposed to, but we did. But I also know not to do that on this stove because gas works differently. So that is really what we've got for the stove. The kids are loving having a stove again because several of the girls either already like to cook or are really enjoying learning how to cook. You like all my dishes behind me because we don't have any cupboards up here yet. We're getting there. It's all coming along. I cannot wait to show you guys the whole kitchen. Anyhow, that is the GE Slate gas range with the grate in the center on the top over the elongated burner. It's nothing too fancy, but it's beautiful, and it really does, other than taking a little bit longer than I like for the burners to light, it really does work really well. So if you have any questions, same thing as the micro hood, about dimensions or anything else, anything I didn't cover, feel free to leave it in the comments. I will say too, I've had somebody ask about the fridge if the slate finish chips off, and it does not. I have seen that issue with the black stainless, where it's really kind of like just a gloss finish over regular stainless. That stuff chips and scratches and stuff like that. This does not. In fact, I'm gonna come over here to the fridge so you guys can see. If you can see, it's really just a solid finish. I don't even know how to describe it. It's not glossy, it's not painted on, it just is the metal. So we've not, sorry about that lighting there. We've not had any issues with scratching, chipping, anything. The only issue, which we actually had on our first fridge too, the sticker from shipping left some residue that for whatever reason I cannot get my normal go-tos to work on it. And then I was kind of stupid this time, had a note I was trying to keep track of, and in my haste stuck the note to it, and a week later when I went to take it off, there's now paper stuck to my refrigerator. So I've got to get that taken care of. Anyhow, that is the finish on it. If you have any other questions, don't be afraid to ask. I am very happy to oblige and answer about the appliances. So leave that below. Do not forget to like this video if it has helped you at all, answer any questions if you just generally like it, and subscribe to my channel because coming up in the next appliance review will be the Slate dishwasher. You don't want to miss that. We'll see you guys in the next video.